Ever seen a hungry Komodo dragon chase people through a forest to eat them?
2 more behind us. Make sure you watch your backs as well. They're hunting us.
Whether humans chased by elephants in the wilds of Africa, or an antelope kicking down a cyclist in the middle of a safari race.
Probably seeing the cyclist as a bit of a threat, a challenger even.
Here are some savage moments when animals attack humans. Bison charges at tourists. This bison felt stressed by the number of people surrounding it and charged wildly at everything around it to clear them away. Next time, these people will think better before invading its personal space. This woman tried to pet a bison, and it nearly bit her hand off. After lunging at her, the woman scaredly ran away and dropped to the ground. What were these people thinking by petting 2,000-pound wild animals without safety measures? Cheetah Attacks. This pack of cheetahs jumped on top of a safari vehicle, thinking the humans inside had some food for them. It turns out no one was hurt, but they had to stop the whole safari for a moment while the cheetah rummaged around. Rhino attacks people. Imagine going through the streets of your town and suddenly being chased by a giant male rhino. Well, what's happened to this guy? One-horned rhinos are solitary in nature and highly aggressive, so he made a good call by running away as fast as possible. Next up, we see a pair of black rhinos fighting over territory when suddenly they spot a safari vehicle. One of them flees, but the other takes out his anger on the safari jeep. Luckily, no one was injured, and the vehicle only had slight damage. Tiger attacks. This woman stepped out of her car after a heated argument with her husband, leading a nearby tiger to drag her away and brutally kill her. It's never a good idea to wander off when there's a violent, hungry feline roaming nearby. Elephant attacks. Most tourists think elephants are peaceful creatures who don't mind humans, but this stampeding group taught these people why it's a bad idea to get out of your car while an elephant herd is near. On the other hand, this other group didn't know better and had to back off and spray the elephant with water with their safari vehicle to tire it down before they escaped. Elephant charges boat. And for those who forgot that elephants are excellent and agile swimmers, these tourists on a boat were chased by an onlooking elephant. They were lucky to escape unscathed. Komodo dragon attacks. This careless woman was running through the woods when a Komodo dragon spotted her and ran after her. Meanwhile, this other Komodo dragon tried to board this boat to eat the people above. Luckily, this photographer fended it off with a wooden stick. This ranger climbed up a tree to escape a hungry Komodo dragon chasing after it. It first tried to reach the ranger with its snout, but thankfully it got tired of waiting for the ranger to come down and quickly lost interest. Lion attacks. Sometimes tourists forget to close their windows, even when wild animals are near, like this lion who swiped at a car's window when it was crossing near a safari. Had it been closer, the lion would have probably hurt the passenger. Hippo attacks in water. These other tourists didn't imagine hippos were as fast as this one, where they escaped just in time from the hippo's fury. Never mess with an angry hippo's territory. Antelope attacks cyclist. The last thing this cyclist expected was to be taken down mid-race by a wild antelope that was just galloping by. The impact pushed the rider off his bike and gave him some unexpected back injuries. But at least the antelope was fine afterward. But why do animals hate cyclists so much? Bull attack. Yep, cyclists tend to be the victims of random animal attacks. Just like this one, who got hit by a bull in the middle of a rice field. Not only that, but the bull trampled it after it knocked it down. Ouch, that must have been really painful. Goat and ram attacks. This wild goat wandered too close to a nearby town and attacked everyone, even knocking down a lady to the ground, forcing another man to defend her from the crazy goat's onslaught. This man thought it would be a great idea to taunt a wild ram after crossing a fence. The ram responded by charging at him several times, leading the man to leap around, dodging it, and taunting it even more. Don't try this at home. And this is why you shouldn't feed wild rams. This one felt threatened by the human even after it fed it some bread, so it retaliated the best way it knew, by charging. And as we've seen, wild animals just hate it when cyclists wander too close to their territories, as this ram showed the motorcyclist. When it was riding through the forest, the ram randomly came out of the woods and charged straight into the rider, knocking him to the ground. Not content with just knocking him off his bike, the ram charged again, and even a third time afterwards. Surprised by the ram's sheer strength, the cyclist had to detour into the woods or else keep facing the wrath of that grumpy old ram. Pig attacks. This huge mama pig ran straight towards the man harassing the piglet, ready to bite his hand off to defend her offspring. They might be farm animals, but when you touch one of their young, they'll react accordingly. And don't think that the piglets themselves are harmless just because they're small. This man held an angry piglet by its scruff, and when released, it charged at the man for revenge. Although it didn't achieve much due to its size, it was not for lack of wanting. Bird attacks. This wild cassowary nearly attacked a woman at a beach, if not for her clever maneuver by backing away and holding something in front of it to get it to calm down. It's known that if you look into their eyes long enough, they won't attack. Goose attacks. And here we can see a line of soldiers broken by a sudden goose attack. Although this doesn't compare to this clip of a businessman being assaulted by a random goose and whacking it with his portfolio. The goose wasn't going to back down without a fight, however, and it even kept attacking the man repeatedly, stalking him until it left its territory. Which of these birds do you think is more aggressive? Wait until you find out what the larger ones can do to humans. Small geese aren't the only aggressive birds in the wild, for this emu was not giving this man any rest until it chased it away from its herd. It kept chasing him around in circles until the man backed off from the area. Stork Peck. This large African stork was hanging out in the middle of a street when a man passed by a little too close. A second longer, and he could have lost his finger to the stork's pecking attack. Vulture Snatch. And even worse, this vulture tried to snatch a little kid at a park after it confused it with an animal carcass. Let's watch that again, but in slow motion. Thankfully, the kid was too heavy for the vulture, and it flew away immediately. But who knows what could have happened with an even smaller child. Eagle attacks. These people were recording some videos with an eagle, but the eagle attacked the young lady while she was pulling a rabbit carcass. Note that it was a 130-pound human, and the eagle still took it down with as much ease as it would a rabbit. You can hear the little girl screaming in pain as the eagle's sharp talons dig into her body. And the onlookers go to help get her away from the eagle. Let's just say that after being raked by beak and talon, her day out with her family was ruined. This woman was taking photos of herself with a cockatoo on hand when the eagle suddenly spotted it and launched itself to attack her. The eagle only saw potential prey, but ended up attacking the woman when she defended herself anyway. Sounds impressive? How about an animal that swallows their prey whole, horns and all? Sounds thrilling? Well, they're the sneaky pythons, and you can learn more about them in this video.